Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken's Training. Today's training, what we're going to do is I've got an electrical light fixture here. What the customer wants is they want it lowered because they're trying to increase the ambient lighting to try to make it better. And so the way that I'm going to lower it, let me show you the jar. I've already started lowering it. This here is the light fixture that I'm working on. It's a little dark down here. I have a garage door opened that's providing me some natural sunlight. Now, to give you a contrast, this is what the light fixture looked like. It was surface mounted directly onto the deck, okay? The customer, and you can see how there's like a recess here, how it kind of recesses down. It's like, I don't know, 19 inches of a recess. So rather than have it deck mounted, they want it lowered. So what I did is I put some chains on here and I lowered it down about 12 inches or so. And then with the light fixture, it brings it about level with that recess in the concrete. Now I need to connect from the electrical junction box down to the light fixture and do that safely. So the way I'm going to do that is with MC cable. So now let me show you MC cable. Let me come back around to the camera here. MC cable, also referred to as flexible cable. Here's the tag that comes with this particular one, which is 12-2. There are 3 conductors inside of this particular flexible cable. There's going to be a black, a white, and a green, 12 gauge, which for my application is appropriate. I'm working already with 12 gauge wire. I'm going to maintain 12 gauge wire. Now, I've already measured it out. From the plate, from the electrical junction box to the light fixture, I need 15 inches. This here is going to be the plate that I'm going to install with a 1/2 inch knockout up at the top. There's also a 1/2 inch knockout on the light fixture. So, in order to do your connection from the plate and to the light fixture, you're going to use this product. So it's going to fit in here, and the cabling is going to fit inside of here. You screw that down with the Phillips head screwdriver, and then that collapses an internal I don't know what you call it, plate, in order to hold that in place. Now, very important here is that you want to utilize these red grommets. These red grommets is what prevents the wire from chafing on the flex. See, once I cut this flex, if I don't protect that wire, this metal here is very, very, very sharp. You're going to cut into the insulation around the conductors. You're going to ground out either your hot, your neutral, and it's going to electrically cause you problems. So when you're working with flex, you need to protect that with the red grommet. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So basically, those are the tools, those are the materials that I'm going to be working with. For tools, an absolute must is a pair of tin snips. So just a pair of tin snips, sheet metal, shears, whatever you want to call them, tin snips. Personal protection equipment. I'm going to wear safety glasses and I've got some gloves on because I don't want to get cut. And let's see, and we're going to get going with this in 1 second. Okay, audience, I'm going to try to show you everything as best I can. Now, I need 15 inches from this plate to the light fixture. On the plate end, I want 6 inches of wire going into this plate, and on the other end, I want 8 inches of wire. So you need to add all that up so I have a total length of 29 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down to 29 inches. A second here. Okay, 29 inches is right where my finger is, okay? And it wouldn't hurt to even go a little bit more. So I'll just take it out to 30 inches. Now, what you do now is you hold that at 30 and you bring that directly like this and you wait until that snaps through. And I'll show you, keep turning that like that. Okay. Now, this is my end point, so I can actually shear this off. I don't much care about this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my tin snips and cut that right out. And then that's my piece. This is why I'm wearing safety glasses and gloves. Okay. I don't do it all in one bite. I grab that in a couple bites. Okay, there it is. So there's my scrap. I don't care about that. Now, coming over to this end here. I know that I want 6 inches on one end and 8 inches on another, but I gave myself an extra inch, so I'll do 7 and 8 inches, okay? So now what I'll do is I'll just take my tape measure and I'll go down like this, 7 inches, and I'll mark that right there, okay? Now, you see that mark right there? That's at 7 inches. Now I got to be somewhat careful. Now I'm going to bring that, and again I'm going to get that flex to open up on me, okay, like that. Then what I'm going to do is I don't want to disturb the conductors. I'm going to fold that back, and I'm going to try to get that to open up. So what I want to do is I got to make a cut here. Let's see if I can open that up. Okay. Now I'm going to take the tin snips and I'm going to go inside of here, and I got to cut one of these splines without cutting the conductors or disturbing the conductors. All right, so I'm just trying to stab in like that. Let's see if I've done it. I don't know if I have. I believe I have. Not sure yet. Hold on. I think I got it. Okay, you can see that I'm broken away from my main piece of flex. Okay, see that all the way around? So now all I have to do is just bring it out. It's just a little stuck. I might have to keep, there it is. Okay, now hopefully this conductor is not disturbed. Now you see this right here? That has to be corrected. So what I have to do, this particular one goes on the outside. Just take the needle nose pliers, and I got to bring that fold, this curl, I got to bring that down so that it comes into play with the rest of this. So I want to make sure that that's nice and straight and appropriate. Alright, hang on. I almost got it. Okay. That's not bad. Now, another thing I'm going to do, so I'm just going to take these wires here, bend that back a little bit, and I'm going to try to take out that sharp lip that's right there. I'm just going to try to cut that. Again, making sure that my conductors are not being disturbed. Okay, kind of like that. That's pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this red grommet here around the plastic, this plastic that's right here. Then I'm going to wiggle that into place. I could wait till I get the next section cut, but as long as I'm right here, I'm just going to show you. I want to get that in and seated. Hold on. It's just a little hard trying to watch the camera and do this simultaneously. And sometimes you have to move the conductor out of your way in order to get that. There we go. Alright. I might have to actually lift that up with my needle nose and then bring that down. A little bit, I created that a little bit too tight. I'm just going to have to lift this, and then I can try to cinch it back down after All right, there we go. Now I can bring this in, and that should hopefully go in. There we go. Then see that curl right there? I can actually tighten that in and bring that in nice and neatly. Now you see how my wire is fully protected. Now as far as this plastic goes, what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to get my diagonal side cutters, which are right here, and then what I do is I hold that in like so, and then trim this like that. So basically my wire is 100% protected from chafing. When that goes in to this, it's going to go in like this. See that red underneath? You go in like that. Oh, hold on, I got a small strip there. Nothing. And then you fully seat that like that. And then once this goes into the plate or the light fixture, I tighten this screw down and it holds this in, and it also will tighten this cable to that while I'm putting pressure that way, like this. But for now, I got to do the opposite end. Okay, so what I've done, I told you I needed 15 inches of flexible metal. So I measured from here, 15 inches, I put a black mark. Now, this is just going to be my extra on this side right here. This is the black mark that I'm concerned with. Again, I'm going to do the exact same procedure, which is, well, it opened up a little extra. That's okay. Sometimes it does that. Maybe I'm not sure which curl I'm going to cut. Usually I cut the one to the right. So if it's a little extra, it's fine. It's not going to harm me for it to be a little extra. All right, so basically there it is. I'm going to cut into there. You see how I'm grabbing that? Like this. Again, making sure that I don't disturb those conductors, which is the wiring inside. Don't want that disturbed. Now you see how I'm pulling that apart? Okay. So far, so good. We are good. Now this needs to be trimmed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it like, I'm going to bring that wire away from that, and now I'm just going to trim in like this. Making sure that I don't cut my conductors. There. There. That is not bad. There's a little bit of a sharp edge right here. I'm going to trim that out. Okay, I'm totally good. Now, again with the red safety thing there, whatever you want to call it. Dropped on the ground. Here it is. Now, leave my plastic in place. Go around the plastic. Okay. Now, I'm going to wiggle that. I'm going to move that wire in that flex to get it to where I want to so that this fits in. Okay. And ideally, I want that fully seated. Okay. Now that looks pretty good. That looks very good. What I could do is just take my tool here just to flatten that out a little bit, like that. But that's actually not bad. And again, I'm going to take the plastic, hold that back, holding that all in, and then take my diagonal side cutters and I'm going to trim out that plastic piece right like that. Okay, now my piece that I've created for myself is ready to be installed. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you the top one first. The electricity is currently off, so I am safe. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring down my wires that I'm working with, which are these 3 wires right here. And I'm working with, let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this through, hold that down, get this plate ready here. Okay, see how that's all seated? Now, while I'm holding that, let me get my screwdriver out of my pocket. And while I'm holding all that together, I'm going to tighten that down. And that's nice and tight. And there's my connection right there. So that's nice and good. I can go ahead and untwist these wires. These are ready to be installed. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that all out so it's ready to be wire nutted in. There. Okay, as far as the conductors go, it doesn't matter which one we go first with. The green is not, doesn't have anything on it. I'll go with that one first. Whenever I do a solid to a stranded wire, I always put the stranded wire a little more forward than the solid wire. Because otherwise the solid will begin to grip in the wire nut first and it won't give me a good grab. I think I'm going to have to go over to an orange wire nut and not grab with the yellow. Okay, that's a nice grab. And then once I put the wire nuts together, I always want to give a tug, make sure I'm good and solid. So now that that white is exposed, I'm going to go ahead and connect that one next. I've got a tan wire nut for that one. I always want to see my wires start to curl together like that, indicating that I've got a nice solid connection. And I'm going to do a transition in colors here because I didn't have orange on my flex, so I'm going to go from orange to black. And same thing with the tan wire nut. These are two 12 gauge wires. Put that together there. Nice and solid. Give that a little tug. Now I'm going to button up all these wire nuts into here and put that on like so, put that on like so. Now I'll just convert over to a flat bladed screwdriver and go ahead and tighten these up. So now we're out of the box, we're into the flex. That's nice and solid. Now we're going to go down into our light fixture. Alright, because this light fixture is at this angle, I don't know how well you're going to see it. I can't get the camera on top. But basically the same thing that you saw up here is going to go down here. Taking my red flexible connector They call it a 3/8 inch connector, which goes into a 1/2 inch knockout. I hold that all the way down, get that correctly. Hang on just a second, it's giving me a little bit of a hard time here. I have to pinch that. Hang on, I gotta get my channel locks. Sometimes when you want to put these on, they kind of fight you and you gotta, there it is. I got it now, just see it. Okay. I got myself a little bit of a bubble here. I did that because I didn't want it to be too tight. There's a little bit of flex here. So, I'm going to go ahead and seat in the flex to the connector. That's solid. Now I just have to, just like a regular light fixture, I just need to now connect my wires here to my light fixture. And basically that's it. All right, so basically that's it for working with flexible conduit, or MC or MC Lite, MC metal clad. So it's like a flexible conduit that has the wires already run inside of it. And those are the tools, techniques, and everything that, as an example, I'm doing this light fixture right here. I'll have this light fixture wrapped up in no time, and I'll show you the final product in just a second here. But basically what I was trying to get across to you was the how to work with MC cable. So if you like this video, please click on like button below so I can get some extra likes, and check out my training videos at Ken Training YouTube channel. And that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I'll wrap this up and I'll show you the final product in just a moment. Okay, so I've terminated all my wires. Everything is nice and neatly wrapped up there. I'm going to put the shields back on and put the light fixture back on and get the power back on, and then show you the lights. Okay, so there we go. The light fixture is up and running. And I closed the door here just to give you a contrast. So basically I lowered that light fixture compared to like that fixture and all the other fixtures. This is just a test to see if we're going to do this to all of them. There is all like some light fixtures in the distance. And here's the one that I lowered. And there is the, if you can see it, the flexible MC cable, metal clad cable that I put up there. And but that concludes this video, and thank you for watching.